everyone, I'm Summer. Welcome to my channel. Today I will share the advancement process of my direct character design using colors. For this character design, I adopted a rather special approach. Draw the design drawings directly using colors. This is also a brand new attempt for me. My previous drawing method started from line drawing sketches. Add details to the online draft. Complex design drawings require several rounds of line refinement. Only in this way can a complete line draft be obtained. Then apply the base color to the line drawing. This stage mainly involves the design of color matching. Then color the material representation process of each block. This approach is highly step-by-step and very easy to learn and use. But the whole process will take a lot of time. If there are problems with the line drawings and adjustments are needed, everything from color matching to material representation needs to be redrawn. I would feel that too much time has been spent. Could a character I like be drawn in a quicker way? Out of thinking about this issue, that's how this character came into being. In the previous video, I uploaded a video in which I directly drew the character design sketches using colors. That video is for the initial styling plan. Friends who are interested can go to my channel to have a look. Today's video is the process of me continuing to draw based on the color design sketches. I want to see what differences there will be when using these two different ways. Hope this video is helpful to you who want to learn digital painting skills. Then let's start enjoying the wonderful process of painting. Choose one favorite character from the sketch, because the sketch has almost no details. I just drew the shape and a simple relationship of density and sparseness. The overlapping relationship of the structure is not clear, so first of all, I reduced the opacity of the original image a little. The parts that were structurally indistinguishable were sorted out. With lines, I didn't draw the lines very delicately because I still need to try different plans again. In the early stage, I usually draw several more plans. Even if there are already sketches and a basic design direction, I will still draw out the differences that I can think of for comparison, like the role I chose. The styles of the collar, shoulders, and chest can still be further refined in design. At present, the shawl look of this character is overly symmetrical. Not much was considered at the beginning of the design. Just want to add elements related to the universe and the story sky inside the shawl. But now it seems that this design makes the character appear somewhat symmetrical. This part can also be attempted to be changed. Retain the existing plan. Try to change the style of the sleeves. I was drawing while comparing and looking at the previous picture. Try to make the two plans have different feelings. Several different schemes can be drawn for this part, even if there are no complex and time-consuming line drafts. It was only after the refinement was completed that I found I didn't like the design. It is also very troublesome to modify. What I mainly considered when adjusting this part was, in the silhouette of the outer contour of the shape, are there any obviously parallel and equal area parts? The distribution of decorative elements in the picture, whether the relationship between density and sparseness looks comfortable, whether the overall design is balanced. On the one hand, it is the overall balance of the graphics, and on the other hand, it is whether the elements used correspond to the design in a balanced way. Like the character of me, I designed many small metal decorations on the waist of the character. This is an area with a relatively high density of graphics. The structure of the shoulder armor is emphasized at the shoulder area. It is also intended to echo the waist in terms of the density of elements and graphics. There is a suspended magical artifact in the right hand of the character. It occupies a relatively large area. I increased the area of the crotch decorative element on the left side of the character. It is also to make the picture more balanced. If there is no large area graphic on the crotch, the design might appear top-heavy because the staff on the left is relatively thin. This graphic cannot support the entire shape. The following is the process of my different attempts. the step of sorting out the sketch structure, my understanding and feelings about this character will be stronger. I chose one of the 3 adjusted plans again to prepare for the next step. It was at this time that I magnified this character. I created an A4-sized canvas and placed the sketches in it because the initial sketch was very small. When placed on a large canvas, it needs to be enlarged as a whole. The details will become fewer after enlarging the sketch. Next, I mainly add more small structures based on the existing sketches because I added the relationship of light and shadow at the sketch stage. Their volume relationships can also be added when adding details. The brush I'm using doesn't have the opacity property enabled because only in this way can the colors be painted evenly. The shape of the brush doesn't need to be overly concerned. During the sketch stage, it's not a grainy brush. As long as the colors can be drawn evenly, it's fine. For a quick transition, I use the smear tool. The following is to apply the color evenly, increase the undulation and variation of the outer contour. The process of adjusting the hierarchical structure of the skirt. It was all ready the next morning to draw this part. Open this picture again. One may feel that the body is a bit bloated, especially the thighs, so I fine-tune the human body shape. It also adds a little angle to the head. Looking at one's own pictures from time to time often reveals more problems. Looking at a picture for a long time can easily lead to aesthetic fatigue. So take a break or use the horizontal flip frequently. Look at your picture from a different perspective. More areas that can be improved can be discovered. Next, let's continue to adjust the details in the picture. During the process of drawing, always observe the entire character as a whole. The adjustment process also involves dealing with every part of the character's body simultaneously. From head to toe, Make adjustments at any time when problems are found. This is somewhat different from starting a draft using line drawings. This painting method is a little freer. Although I didn't spend a lot of time drawing the line draft, however, a lot of time will be spent on detailed adjustments. At this moment, I see so many unpainted golden decorations in the picture. My head has begun to hurt. because there is no line drawing. The boundaries of many areas are not very clear. There will be a very rough feeling. I drew the edges of the main structure using lines. This is what I have considered, whether to redraw the line drawing on the existing basis or not. But I haven't done so for the time being. Perhaps when detailing, I will draw some line drafts to distinguish the boundaries of the structure. drawing more structures, there are more details on the character's body. It feels like the special effects in the picture are a bit simple. So I wanted to try more complex forms of special effects. The initial design. It might just be a special effect form when this character is preparing for battle. So now I want to draw the ultimate special effects form when the characters are fighting. This might have a stronger visual tension. I added a huge interest behind the character. Many small lower planets were added around her again. Because there are many golden ornaments on the characters, I also added some golden decorative elements to the planet behind. Let it have more humanistic atmosphere. Make the planet and the characters have a stronger connection. Make the background and the characters form a whole. I circled the trajectory of an asteroid around the character again. I want this character to have an asteroid orbiting animation when casting spells. After drawing these, the picture looks a little scattered. I'm wondering if it's possible. Connect the elements such as the background, characters, and asteroids. Make the picture look more integrated. So oval lines surrounding the characters were added to the picture. The directions of these ellipses are considered to be interwoven and combined with the existing figures. Avoid crosses and parallel figures as much as possible. When dealing with the background of the picture, attention should be paid to the relationship between the background and the characters before and after. They can be distinguished by the contrast of light and dark as well as warm and cool colors. The main subject of the picture is always the character, so the saturation of the background can be reduced a little. Try to contrast the lightness with the characters as much as possible. The background saturation of the initial scene is already a bit high. I said about weakening them again. That's all for today's sharing. I haven't finished drawing this picture yet. I need to further refine it later. Hope it can be finished soon. I hope everyone can feel the joy of painting during the process of painting. I will bring you more wonderful content. Stay tuned.